Hello, friends. The insights you are about to hear belong to Dr. Vikas Divyakirti, a highly respected educator and thinker from India, known for his deep understanding of life and human psychology. I am an AI avatar, here to present and translate his powerful words into English for a global audience. The stories and lessons are his. The voice and presentation are artificial. Let's listen to his profound message. I prefer telling true stories. I avoid lying. I am going to share 3 or 4 short stories with you today. All these stories are true, every single one of them. However, I will not mention anyone's name. It's a matter of privacy for those involved. But yes, the stories are authentic. It is fortunate that we did not become the characters in these stories. God forbid we ever do. But the tales are real. When I came to Delhi in 1990, I traveled from a city in Haryana called Bhavani to study. Hansaraj College was one of my dream colleges. But coincidentally, I got admission into Zakir Hussain College. My marks were decent. I could have gotten in elsewhere. But I landed at the New Delhi railway station, stepped out, and found out this college was right there. So, I just took admission there. People told me, "Man, the campus life is great elsewhere." I said, "What difference does it make? One doesn't go to college for the college itself. Forget it. That's what I'm here to teach you all, to let things go." Anyway, I thought if I needed to go home, I could easily catch a train from near the college. What's the big deal about a campus? However, a friend of mine who came with me from the same city got admitted to Hansaraj College. He and I were school debaters. We had been quite active in debating since our school days. When we came to Delhi University, we remained active. I debated for about 5 years in DU, and I think I must have won around 300 to 400 debates. I lost some too, but I debated a lot. It was essentially my bread and butter back then. That was my livelihood during my college days. I didn't take money from home, nor was it available. Giving was out of the question. The situation at home back then wasn't such that I could get any. So, debating was my employment. I managed comfortably with it. He managed too. He was from Hansaraj. I was from Zakir Hussain. We met frequently at debates. Often, either I would win the trophy or he would. Whoever won. The trophy would come to our room because we were roommates. We lived together. In terms of ability, he was a notch above me. If he was a 21, I would remain a 15 or a 12. I was never a 22 or even a 21. He was better than me in capabilities. He was a wonderful person. After graduation, I took admission in MA Hindi Literature, even though I had done my BA honors in history. At that time, he decided he would do something else, a professional course, take up a job. So he left Delhi. I stayed in Delhi. After my MA, I started preparing for the UPSC. By then, I had already cleared the UGCJRF. I gave my first attempt, cleared the prelims. I am talking about the mains exam of 1996. The mains were about to start. 2 days were left. About 10 days prior, he had come to visit me in Delhi. We met, talked nicely, and he left. During those days, he was in a romantic relationship somewhere with one of our mutual friends. We were all friends, and 2 among them had an affair. I don't know what happened, but 2 days before my main exam, at midnight, I received a phone call. I was told that my friend had ended his life by hanging himself. He was far away from Delhi. A person about whom my opinion was that there couldn't be anyone more resilient, someone who simply could not be defeated by life, someone whose very presence made others feel victorious. He quietly lost to life in a closed room. To this day, I haven't been able to understand how it happened. Later, we probed, talked to his parents, his brother. In his memory, they started a social work initiative so that no other child would have to do such a thing. The faint guess we could make was that perhaps there was something in the relationship that couldn't be managed. The pressure not to let the relationship break was too immense, and he couldn't handle that pressure. In this age, such a phase comes. It often comes. This is one story. It is connected to Hansaraj College, so I thought I'd start from there. As I said, I won't reveal names. There is no point in revealing names. And the person whose story I am telling, this happened before you were born. You must all be 21st century kids, Gen Z, so this is a very old matter for you. Let me tell you a second story. I will tell you 2 or 3 stories, and then we will extract the essence of all of them together. The second story is from when I got selected in 1997. I was selected in the 1996 attempt, in my first try. I had taken an extension and was preparing, and I was also teaching at DU at that time. I think I was at DAV College then, or perhaps I taught at two places in DU, so I was teaching at one of them. There is a library on the campus, the Central Reference Library. You might know it. It's the library right opposite Vivekananda Ji's statue. In that library, everyone sits downstairs to study, and the top floor is the research floor where M.Phil and PhD students study. I was perhaps doing my PhD or had just finished my M.Phil at the time. I used to sit and study there daily. Many friends used to study there with me. We used to enter at 8 a.m. when the library opened and leave at 1 a.m. when it closed. There was a terrace there. On the terrace, there was a small canteen where we would go 3 or 4 times a day when we got bored to drink tea. We'd have tea, eat biscuits, gossip a bit. We used to do all that there. I had many friends there. Many of them are now very senior civil servants. Some are professors at DU. There were 2 kids. They were 3 or 4 years junior to me. Very lovely kids. By that time, I had developed a good passion for reading and studying. So, they used to sit with me daily, just to talk. If a topic needed debating, we would debate. Then I found out that they were in a relationship. They even got married. Their plan was to teach at DU or perhaps join the civil services. I don't know. My interaction with them didn't remain very frequent because I had joined a service. They were such curious kids. So curious that meeting them made one feel happy. They wanted to know everything. They wanted to read every subject. Children completely full of life, with a sparkle in their eyes. Then they got married. I couldn't attend the wedding because my relationship with them was limited to an hour of gossip in the library. It wasn't more than that. Then I kept hearing that everything was going well. They were studying, preparing. They had an intercaste marriage. It caused a huge uproar. Swords were drawn in both families. Somehow, the swords were managed. It was managed. They started living together. And then, 3 or 4 years later, one day I heard the news that the girl had ended her life by hanging herself. This story is also from Delhi University. Everyone from that era knows this story. I think your principal madam would know these 2 stories. If she can't recall, the moment I say the names in private, she will immediately understand who I am talking about. To this day, I couldn't understand what must have happened. The later guess was intercaste marriage, family pressure, societal pressure, mutual pressure, a toxic relationship. Finally, not being able to bear that pressure and ending one's life, that is what happened. These are 2 incidents. A third incident. This happened in Delhi 25 years ago. You people must have just been born, crawling on your knees, or perhaps it was 5 to 7 years before that. All the senior people in Delhi know this event. Those who are 35 to 40 years old know this story. Video on mobile phones was a new thing at that time. Now, every phone you have has video. There is even a front camera so you can make that face and take a selfie. Pout, they call it, right? In my native language, I call it a pig face, and it does look like one. People make cute little pig faces and take selfies. They call it a pout. Back then, cameras had just appeared in phones. People weren't used to it. Whenever new technology comes, it takes time to understand it. Those who understand first take advantage. Those who understand late suffer the disadvantages. At that time, in a famous school in Delhi, 2 children in 11th or 12th grade must have been in a relationship. Both were in a situation that was of a very private nature, a very personal nature that could not be made public. It was something like a physical relationship matter. That wicked boy, the history of boys is already tarnished. Tarnishing it further, he made a video of that entire situation. In such matters, it is unfortunate. Just because I am a boy doesn't mean boys become holy. It's a boy. The history is tarnished. He made a video of it, and demonstrating the peak level of wickedness, he shared that video with a friend of his, saying, "Don't show it to anyone else." As it happens in the world of rumors, every rumor is told by one person to only one other person, saying, "Don't tell anyone else." And the next person also tells the next one the same thing, "Don't tell anyone else." And in this way, the whole city gets the news, and everyone thinks only they know. That video spread. New phones had come out, but few people had them. How far could it spread via phones with cameras? It didn't spread much. But at that time, there used to be a notorious market in Delhi, Palika Bazaar. It still exists, but back then it was notorious for other things. Now you get clothes. Back then, along with clothes, you could get many other things there. For instance, If you wanted CDs of dirty movies, you could get them there secretly in the gray market. People converted this video into CDs and bought it from there, in locks and drawers. New private television channels had just arrived, and the hunger for news in private TV channels is such that they can take a life for news, and they can actually get someone killed. 24 hours a day, news stories on this incident were running on all channels. This is the boy who did this. This is the girl. This is the school. We will talk to the principal. We will talk to him. That girl, who was not at fault in this, except that she loved a boy, which children do at that age. Should a huge fuss be made about this? You cannot treat children as criminals for everything. That child's only mistake was that she trusted her friend, who was not worthy of trust. He was a vile kind of person who did not understand the dignity of that relationship. Outside that girl's house, news channel cameras stood for 24 hours. If anyone stepped out of the house, 50 cameras would follow. Tell us, how is your daughter? Tell us, how is your sister? Finally, that father sent his daughter out of this country. A few days later, the news that TV channels did not show, her father committed suicide. This is the third incident. I am telling you all true stories. Not a single one of these is a lie. Motivation can be given through false stories, I know. But when there are true stories, why should I lie? I am telling you all true stories. A fourth story, which will relate to many of you. I have a student, a civil servant. He is at a senior level, around 40 years old. He hasn't married to this day. Was it that he didn't have the desire to marry? He had a full desire. Then why didn't he marry? Well, some people are such that they just don't want to marry. They have a mission. There is Yogi Ji, Modi Ji. Fine, they have a mission. Mamata Ji has a mission. But someone who doesn't have such a mission in life, and who also desires to love, usually gets married. Do you know why he didn't marry? When he was 25 or 26 years old, when he was also my student, one day he came to me and said, "Sir, I want to talk." My students talk to me a lot like this privately. Now I can give less time, but earlier this used to happen a lot outside of class. He came completely weeping. His eyes were full of tears. "What happened, brother?" Then he mentioned someone's name. "Sir, she. She was also my student. The one I was in a relationship with. She has cheated on me." Okay, stories about cheating don't appeal to me much. I believe there are faults on both sides. You just keep crying, cheat, cheat, thinking only from your perspective. It doesn't happen like that, brother. There must have been some compulsions. No one becomes unfaithful just like that. There must be some reason, right? You should also listen to their reason, their story. And whenever I hear both stories, I feel the matter is gray. You cannot point a finger at just one person saying they did this. Both have faults. It's not like only one does. Anyway, this gentleman felt that he had been cheated. So I said, "Come on, it's okay, man. If it happened, it happened. If not her, someone else. What's the big deal? It's such a big world. There is a population of 8 billion now. Even at that time, it was 6 or 7 billion. I said, among 3 to 3.5 billion, there must be someone for you. What is it? We'll look for someone else." But he was a bit too sentimental at that time. Gradually, I don't know what settled in his mind. What settled in his mind is that all girls in the world are cheaters. There is no shortage of such fools in the world. There are many such fools. In the world of philosophy, this is called illicit generalization. It means assuming on the basis of a very small sample that this theory applies to the entire universe. One girl cheated. Suppose she cheated. Whether she cheated, or he cheated, or whoever cheated, whatever the story may be. Assuming from one sample that everyone is like that. And after that, he tried at least 10 times. He met 10 people. Talked for marriage. What dating will he do at the age of 40? But yes, he talked to see if interests match, natures match, then think about marriage. Every time, after 3, 4, or 5 meetings, he backs out. Now I have stopped asking. As long as I used to ask, he used to say, "Sir, after 3 or 4 meetings, it feels like she is also like that." I said, "Forget her, brother. Forget her. The matter is over. Her children are roaming around in school these days. Now you at least get married." That gentleman is alone to this day, and now his value in the market has also gone down. Now, not many options are available either, and in the options that are available, his interest has decreased further. So, there is a full possibility that he will spend his life alone. Now, I will give you a final example of this, and then move towards the conclusion. I know one IS officer and two IPS officers. Very capable people, educated from the best institutions in the country, people working in proper IS, proper IPS jobs. And these three ended their lives while still in service. Why? Because they could not handle the job pressures and domestic dilemmas. They couldn't bear it. They couldn't forget it. They couldn't let go. So they gave up. And that is why I often feel that all the things we teach children, history, economics, literature, those are fine. They also have importance. Perhaps more important than that is this: learning how to manage one's emotions. When it feels like everything in life is over, when life feels like it has become very toxic type, how to get out of it. Perhaps this is the most important lesson we all should learn. I haven't learned it from anywhere, nor have I read such books. Although I ordered 2 books last week, haven't read them yet. So, I don't know based on books how one learns, but you can learn from life. All these stories have just one essence. The reasons are different. One person ended his life because that relationship was slipping out of his hands. One ended life because the relationship had formed, but they couldn't manage societal pressures, family pressures. One never married his whole life simply because he couldn't forget old memories. Oh, if a mistake happened once, it happened. There is possibility ahead in life, brother. Why let it dominate your mind so much? Some people, being in the country's best job, after succeeding on every scale, on every criterion of success, could not save their lives. Because if you become very successful in the eyes of others, but are a zero in your own eyes, then how will life be formed? How will life be saved? The root message of all these stories is the same. If you cannot handle yourself, what will you handle in the world? Before handling the world, one has to learn to handle oneself. And the easiest panacea remedy for that is called the art of letting go. Jane Deal. Wav sana jisa anjum tak lana naho mumkin. Use ek kubsarat mod dekar kadnaika.